Good morning, children. How are you all? Okay, all are fine. Right. Have you completed the homeworks and classworks? Very good. Okay, don't waste your time. Okay, study well. Today we are going to see Unit 2, the rest part. Okay, in the previous class we have seen what is velocity time graph, what is velocity acceleration, what is speed and the distance time graph, uniform motion, types of motion. Okay, all those things we have seen in the previous classes. Okay, in today's class we are going to see about equations of motion. Okay, let us start. Right. Have you know Newton, the scientist Newton? Yeah, who has discovered the gravitation force. Okay, that Newton, he studied the motion of an object. Okay, how the object is moving. Okay, he studied the motion of the object. Okay, and he gave three set of equations. Okay, these equations relate displacement, velocity, acceleration and time. Okay, what these equations relate? Displacement, velocity, acceleration and time of object under motions. Okay, so an object in motion with initial velocity, okay, that is u. Initial velocity is u. Okay, see the box, u is the initial velocity of an object. V will be the final velocity. Okay, V is the final velocity. S is denoted for displacement. S is denoted for displacement and A is denoted for acceleration. A is denoted for acceleration and T is denoted for time. Okay, right. These three equations can be written for motion. Equations of motion is written V equal to U plus AT. V equal to U plus AT. This is the very important equation. These three equations you should remember every time. Okay. And the second equation is S equal to UT plus half AT square. S equal to UT plus half AT square. And third is what? V square equal to U square plus 2AS. Okay, if U square comes to left side, what happens? V square equal to U square plus 2AS. Okay, these are the three equations of motion. Okay, now we are going to try. Okay, we are going to try to derive these equations. Okay, how this equation came? How Newton derived this equation like that. Okay, we are going to derive this equation in a graphical method. Okay, by a diagram or graphical method which we are going to derive the equation. Okay, this is the very important question. Okay, right. Let us start. First equation, okay, that is V equal to U plus AT. Okay, draw the diagram. Okay, draw the diagram. Okay, see the diagram. What at D? Okay, D is the starting point. Okay, so the initial velocity is U and C is the ending point, so the final velocity is V. Okay, and mark the point A and mark the point B and C and E. Okay, right? The initial velocity of the object is OD. Initial velocity is OD. That is equal to EA. Okay, and the final velocity of the object is OC. Okay, that is equal to EB. Okay, right. Here, this object shows the change in velocity with time for a uniformly accelerated object. Okay, the object starts from the point D in the graph with the velocity U. Its velocity keeps on increasing. Okay, after a time T, okay, it reaches the point B. Okay, D la irundhu B க்கு போயிருக்கு. Okay, so D தான் initial and it went to B. That is the final point. Okay, so we are marking the point and that is V. Okay, right. And what is acceleration? Okay, what is acceleration? Do you know the formula for acceleration? That is change in velocity by total time taken. Change in velocity by total time taken. Okay, what is change in velocity? Change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity. Final velocity minus initial velocity. Okay. So what is the change in velocity? We can write final velocity is what? OC. Okay. OC is the, where is OC? Yeah. OC is the final velocity. What is the initial velocity? OD. Appo OD the initial velocity, OC the final velocity. Okay. What is the time? The time is OE. Okay. So acceleration equal to change in velocity by total time taken. Okay. Do you understood? So A equal to OD minus OC. Change in velocity minus initial velocity. Okay, so A equal to, what is OD? That is V. Okay, OC is U. So V minus U by T. Okay, so here OC minus OD by OE. OC minus OD is what? DC. That is DC. That is the velocity V. So A equal to V minus U by T. So it becomes V equal to U plus AT. Okay. Acceleration formula which you have to derive this. You understood? Acceleration equal to change in velocity by total time taken. First of all, you have to draw the diagram. Mark the points properly and write what is acceleration. Acceleration equal to change in velocity by time. What is change in velocity? Change அப்படினாலே final minus initial. So final velocity minus initial velocity divided by the time. So what is the final velocity? OC minus OD. So OC minus OD means it becomes DC. DC by OE. That is the time T. Okay. Right. So final the equation becomes V equal to U plus AT. This is the first equation of motion. Now second equation. Okay. Second equation. Okay. See the diagram. Okay, from the graph, the distance covered by the object during the time t is given by the area DOEB. Okay, DOEB. Okay, we are taking the, see, DOBE. Okay, we are taking a trapezium. We are taking a trapezium, isn't it? DOEB. See, DOEB, it is looking like a trapezium. Okay, so what is the formula? How we can calculate the trapezium? Okay, that is called quadrangle. Okay, quadrangle. So there is a rectangle and a triangle, isn't it? See the picture. There is a rectangle and a triangle. Okay, DOEB எடுத்துக்கோங்க. அதுல என்ன இருக்கு? It is looking like a quadrangle. அப்படிதானே? அப்போ ஒரு rectangle இருக்கு. That is DOEA ஒரு rectangle and DAB, that is a triangle. So there is a rectangle and there is a triangle. So we can take, okay, distance, okay, S equal to what is the area of a rectangle? Length into breadth. Length into breadth, isn't it? So what? Length into breadth. First area of a quadrangle, that is length into breadth, plus area of a triangle, that is half into BH, isn't it? Half into BH. So AE into OE plus half into AB into DA. Okay, then it becomes S equal to, what is AE? AE is U and into OE is T. So UT plus half AT square. This is the second equation of motion. Okay, take your book, page number 20. Okay, it is very clearly written. Okay, you can understood easily. Right? This is the second. Now, third equation of motion. Okay. So, in this, okay, you have to draw the diagram, and here we can see the distance covered by the object during the time on the given quadrangle DOEB. Here, DOEB is a trapezium. Here also, DOEB we are taking. Now, what is the formula for trapezium? That is half into sum of length of parallel side into distance between the parallel side. That is half into OD plus BE into what? The distance H. Okay, that is OE. Okay, so half into What is the OD plus BE? That is V plus U. Then distance between the parallel side, that is T. So half into U plus V into T. Okay. Since A equal to, what is A? Acceleration A equal to V minus U by T. We can write T equal to V minus U by A. Okay. You understood? Right. Now you substitute it here. So 2as equal to v square minus u square. So v square equal to u square plus 2as. This is the third equation of motion. This is the third equation of motion. Okay. This will be applicable in problems. Okay. It is used in problems. Okay. See your book, page number 20. Okay, there is a problem, isn't it? The brake applied to a car produce an acceleration of 6 meters second to the power minus 2 in the opposite direction to the motion. So, if the car takes 2 seconds to stop after the application of brake, calculate the distance traveled. So, you have to calculate the distance. So, that is S. So, S equal to ut plus half t square. Ut plus half t square. Okay. Right. So you substitute that formula, okay, and initial velocity u and final velocity you have to find. Okay, there is only acceleration given, time is given. Okay, so v equal to u plus at. V equal to u plus at. Okay, right, and you can substitute and the answer will 12 meter. Right. Now, motion of a freely falling body. Motion of a freely falling body. Okay, right. Take a large stone. Okay, take a large stone and a small eraser. Okay, in this picture, we are taking a great elephant. Okay, large elephant and a small stone. Okay, okay. First of all, I will tell the example with a small one. Okay, take a large stone and a eraser. Stand on the top of a table, okay, and drop them simultaneously. Okay, stone or kaila, eraser or kaila, you drop them simultaneously. Okay, what do we observe? Now take a eraser and a sheet of paper. Now take a small eraser and a sheet of eraser. Okay, what happened? Drop them. Okay, eraser also and a sheet of paper also from the same height. What you can observe? Okay, this time the two sheets of paper having same mass and crumple of one of the sheets into the ball. Now drop the sheet and the ball from the same height. What will you observe? What will you observe? If the elephant and the stone is falling from a same height, what will you observe? Okay, I will tell you. Okay, first one. Okay, you can observe that. Okay, first of all, stone and eraser. Okay, if the stone and the eraser reach the surface of the earth almost at the same time, but when you drop the eraser and paper, the eraser reaches the first and the paper reaches later. Okay, stone and eraser pota rendume same time la viludhu, but when you drop the eraser and paper, eraser reaches the first and the sheet of paper reaches later. You can also observe that paper crumpled into a ball reaches the ground first and the plain sheet of paper reaches later, although they are having the equal mass. Do you know the reason? When all these objects are dropped in the absence of air medium? Okay. When all the objects are dropped in the absence of air medium, in the vacuum, okay, all would have reached the ground at the same time. Okay. If there is no air, okay, full of vacuum area, okay, air இல்லாத ஏரியால ரெண்டு ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டையும் போட்டீங்க, ரெண்டுக்குமே சேம் வேற வேற மாஸ் இருக்கலாம், சேம் மாஸா இருக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? when in the air medium, okay, without air medium இல்லன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், both the objects will come to the ground at the same time if it is a paper or if it is a eraser. But in air medium, okay, if it air medium, air offers some resistance, okay, to the motion of freely falling body. If it is a freely falling body, the air will give some resistance, okay, so it is coming late. Okay, so it is negligibly small when compared to the gravitational pull. Okay, when it is negligibly small, okay, when it is, but it is negligibly small when compared to the gravitational pull acting on the stone and the rubber, acting on the stone and rubber. Hence, they reach the ground at the same time. Hence, they reach the ground at the same time. Okay, it can be seen from these activities that the magnitude of air resistance depends upon the area of objects that is exposed to air. Okay, we know that an object experiences acceleration. Okay, we know that or object that is experiencing the acceleration during the free fall. Okay, this acceleration experienced by an object is independent of mass. It is independent of mass. Okay, this means that all objects, okay, that is hollow or solid, that is big or small, okay, should fall at the same rate. Okay, do you understood? Right. The equations of motion for a freely body. Okay. Yes, there is a equations for motion. Okay. So for a freely falling body, okay, we can be obtained by replacing the A with G. Okay, if V equal to ut plus half at square. S is equal to ut plus half at square. That A, that acceleration, okay, will be replaced by G, that is gravitation. Do you understood? That is acceleration due to gravity G. So for a freely falling body which is initially at rest, okay, for a freely falling body which is initially at rest, that is U equal to 0. Thus we get the following equation: V equal to GT. S is equal to half GT square. V square is equal to 2GH. Okay. We understood. So when we throw an object vertically upwards, okay, if you throw an object vertically upwards, it moves against acceleration due to gravity. Hence, A is taken to be minus G. So when it comes down, that is A is taken as plus G. Okay, have you understood? Right. This is the motion of a freely falling ball. Now, uniform circular motion. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, what is uniform circular motion? Okay, take a piece of thread. Okay, you take a piece of thread and tie a small piece of stone at one of the end. Okay, take a piece of thread. Okay, take a piece of thread and tie a small stone at the one of its ends. Now, rotate the stone. Okay, rotate the stone. It describes a circular path, isn't it? If you rotate the stone, what happened? You will get a circular path with a constant speed. Okay, by holding the thread at the other end. You hold the thread at the other end. Now rotate it. Okay, you will get a circular path. Okay. Now release the thread. Release the thread. Let the stone go. Okay. So can you tell the direction in which the stone moves after it is released? Have you observed it? Okay, try it. Okay, so if you carefully observe, okay, if you carefully observe, on being released, the stone moves along a straight line. Okay, it moves along a straight line that is tangential to the circular path. If you carefully observe what happens, the stone will move along a straight line that is tangential to the circular path. This is because once the stone is released, okay, this is because once the stone is released, it continues to move along the direction. It continues to move along the direction, okay. It continues to move along the direction it has been moving at that instant. So this shows that the direction of motion changes at every point, okay. Direction of motion changes at every point when the stone was moving along the circular path. Okay. So next, when an object is moving with a constant speed, okay, when an object is moving with a constant speed along a circular path, okay, when an object is moving with a constant speed along a circular path, the velocity changes, okay, the velocity changes, okay. The velocity changes due to the change in direction. Okay, so it is an accelerated motion. It is an accelerated motion. Okay, for example, okay, revolution of Earth. Okay, revolution of Earth around the sun. Revolution of Earth around the sun. So, and revolution of moon around the Earth. And the tip of the second hand of the clock. Have you watched your clock? So, the tip of the second hand of a clock all are accelerated motions. Okay. Right. If an object moving along a circular path. Okay. If an object moving along a circular path, it will have some radius. Okay. That is R. And the time will be T. Okay, that is capital T. To come back to its starting position, okay, then the speed V is given by speed is equal to circumference by time taken. Speed is equal to circumference by time taken. That is V equal to 2 pi r by T. Okay, let me tell you once again. Uniform circular motion is the motion of an object traveling at a constant speed on a circular path. Okay, constant speed on a circular path. Okay, right. Period T is the time that is required to travel once around the circle. Okay, that is made to complete one revolution. Okay, that is V equal to 2 pi r by T. Okay, you understood? Right. Now, what is centripetal acceleration? Okay, centripetal acceleration. Okay, a body is said to be accelerated. Okay, a body is said to be accelerated if the velocity of the body changes, okay, either in magnitude or in direction. A body is said to be accelerated if the velocity of the body changes either in magnitude or either in direction. So, the motion of a stone in a circular path, motion of a stone in a circular path with constant speed, okay, constant speed and continuous change of direction in an accelerated motion. Okay, so in this case, okay, there must be an acceleration acting along the string directed inwards, which makes the stone to move in a circular path. Okay, so this acceleration is known as centripetal acceleration. Okay, centripetal acceleration, the motion of a stone in a circular path with a constant speed and continuous change of direction in accelerated motion. Okay, so in this case, there must be an acceleration acting along the string that is directed inwards, which makes the stone to move in a circular path. Understood. So this acceleration is known as centripetal acceleration and the force is known as centripetal force. Okay. So since the centripetal acceleration is directed radially towards the center of the circle, the centripetal force must act on the object that is radially towards the center. Okay. Okay. That is a centripetal acceleration. Okay. That is, let us consider an object of a mass m, okay, that is moving along a circular path of radius r. Okay, see the picture with a velocity u. So its centripetal acceleration is given by a equal to v square by r, v square by r. The magnitude of centripetal force is given by, okay, I will tell you. Right, what is centripetal force? That's acceleration caused by force, that is F equal to ma. Now the force must be in the same direction. Force must be in the same direction as acceleration. Okay, the centripetal force acts towards the center of the circle. Centripetal force acts towards the center of the circle. Okay, the centripetal force is provided by some external force that is called the friction. Okay, so the magnitude of centripetal force is given by F equal to mass into centripetal acceleration. F equal to mv square by r. mv square by r. Okay. Now, what is centrifugal force? What is centrifugal force? Okay, take a piece of rope, okay, and tie a small stone at one end, okay. Hold the other end of the rope and rotate, okay. Rotate as like the stone, okay, in the circular path, okay. What will you experience? if your experience is a pull or a push. Okay, right? I will tell you. Okay, so in this activity, that pulling force acts away from the center is experienced. Pulling force. Okay, so this is called the centrifugal force. This is called the centrifugal force. So force acting on a body, force acting on a body away from the center of a circular path is called centrifugal force. Thus centrifugal force acts in a direction which is opposite to the direction of centripetal force. So its magnitude is same as that of centripetal force. So the dryer in a washing machine is an example of the application of centrifugal force. The dryer in the washing machine, okay, the dryer section in the washing machine, that is an example for the application of centrifugal force. Okay, so when you go for a ride in a merry-go-round in amusement parks, you will experience an outward pull as merry-go-round rotates about the vertical axis. So this is due to the centrifugal force. This is due to the centrifugal force. Okay, you understood what is centrifugal force? It is a fictitious force. Okay, fictitious force. It is not an interaction between two objects and therefore not a real force. Okay, so nothing pulls an object away from the center of the circle. Okay, children, that's all. This lesson is completed. Okay, write 10 filling the blanks as homework. Right? 10 filling the blanks as homework. Okay, and equations of motions. Okay, you derive it and write it in your classwork. Okay, take your book, page number 19, that is equations of motion. Okay, and up to page number 20, the third equation of motion. Okay, you write what are the three equations of motions and okay, draw the diagram. Okay, and understand it clearly and write first equation of motion, second equation of motion and third equation of motion. It is a very important question. Okay, children, study well, don't waste your time, do the homework and classwork properly. That's all. Have a nice day.